Hello everyone, welcome to some Lost Wiki Kozlovka. Ooh, very nice, very nice. Oh, that music's a bit loud. Let's turn that down, shall we? User ID and password. There we go. I definitely need all that. 78092. I've read your articles and I think you can notice what others miss. You're thorough and, more importantly, careful. That's what I need. I've granted you limited access to the database. That holds more than enough if you know where to look. Database instructions to doc. Go look. Use the hyperlinks to navigate around the database. Drag the right words into the report. When you're satisfied with your conclusion, submit the findings to me. I will review them. Ooh. Interesting. So we've had a look at that. So we need the word drag. Kozlovka is a small town located in the eastern region of Nava, nestled at the east of the Dragovia forest. The Bielorussia forest is located next to the town of Kozlovka. Known for its distinctive natural features, it is home to an ancient tree, the Draken Oak, which is believed to be over 1,000 years old. It is also known home to a unique and rare fungus, biotic ergot. We've got enter your system code followed by the local area code. Okay. And we've got notes. Okay, so this is Kozlovka. This is the Bielorussia forest. At the heart of the forest, it will stand the Draken Oak. So let's get back one. And let's have a look at the. Move this one over, move this one over a little. Yeah, perfect. Kozlovka was found by agricultural achievements. Known for most for its agricultural achievements, the yearly yield supplies around 10% of the food in Zarnava. The medicinal herb, also known to be highly potent. Even with that success, there have been pushes to industrialize their practices, most notably the modern farming initiative proposed in the 90s. Okay. So we can see in the 1990s that the modern farming initiative definitely pushed them up, but not to the level seen in like the 1940s, 50s, somewhere like that. Alrighty. Let's submit these findings. Kozlovka is a client town in Zarnava. Already read all of this. I told you so. Draken Oak. Yep. And provides food sustainability. Yep. It's all correct, I believe. What we get? We found something, but not enough. If you want to keep going, you need to understand where this place began, look for patterns and connections. This flowchart is a tool, not a solution. Follow the threads, not the labels. Okay. So he wants more from us. How rude. We already gave you plenty, mate. We want to actually not go into Midis right now. We want to go into back here, Kozlovka, and then we'll go into the forest. We want to click on the Draken Oak. And the tree is the primary host for the symbolic ergot. So we've got symbols in the tree, a plus and two crosses. A pagan tradition to honor the agricultural sequence. After establishing. So can we? We'll put that on there on the screen, and we'll have a look at. You want to have a look at. It was over here. No, medicinal herbs. Some local version of their effectiveness, such as the local farmers started to love door growth, and of which she activates more for its use in pagan rituals. Yeah. You can get a signature of spiritual talk. Interesting. Human occupation. It was the main source for the food supply for the battalions occupying that region. In June 1994, huge offensives were launched, cornering the Nazis in the Bialeska forest. Dozens of lives were lost into the forest, ended in a Soviet victory. Afterwards, Zanava declared independence in 1991. Okay, so independence was God. I wonder if we can search the database. What does this button do? So we got some question marks here. Undiscovered links. Right. Okay. So let's go back to agriculture. We did not click on the modern farming initiative. Was proposed by Mayor Jane Dragunov in 1991 to revise Kov's agricultural practices. It was approved by the Tsarnavian government after achieving independence in the same year. Proposal involved Dr. Kazimir Ostrovsky, who was invited to the town to undergo research. The proposal was ultimately scrapped in 1992. What have we got here? Right, we know that. Submit them. Yeah, we got the image. We don't know anything about that right now. But the colonies are blank. Yeah, so we need the colony. So let's go to the Draconoak. We need the symbolic ergot with a unique fungus. And this is what is around the tree. Unique fungus in the Bialeska forest that relies on a symbolic relation with their plant host, the Draconoak. Fungus known to cause extraordinarily fertility of their surrounding land. Dr. Kazimir Ostrovsky was the leading expert in the symbolic ergot. Uncommon, it can also be used as a medicinal herb. Right, so we need to find out about Dr. Kazimir Ostrovsky. As a Russian mycologist who specialized in the study of rare fungi, moved to Zanava and dedicated most of his 30-year career studying the symbolic ergot. Is invited to Kokoska as part of the modern farming initiative, primarily researching the ecosystem in the Bialeska forest. So we've had a look at basically everything in there. Let's have a look back at this. We've got the witch, the medicinal herbs, the modern farming initiative. We've got Koskova to look at. We want 1887, I guess. Dragunov family passcode required. Date of the Winter Festival. Okay, we don't know the date of the Winter Festival yet. But we could figure that out, I guess. Let's bookmark this one for now. See if we can get that information a little bit later. But we have clicked on it, so let's put it in the question mark. The Draconoak. Protected by the Tsarnavian government. Let's have a look at that. Yeah. We need a passkit for that. Year of Zanava independence. I think that was 99. Whenever we can just right click, no. 1991. Yep, passkit accepted. This initiative started in 1991 when Zanava gained its independence. The purpose was to preserve sites and documents of cultural significance. See below the list of topics related to the ZCPI. Draconoak, Modern Farming Initiative, Slavic runes, is that what we need? The Narvan have an Eastern Slavic industries and form pagan beliefs, some of which come in the form of runes. Blue locals like the witch still believe they hold power. See below the list of common Slavic symbols. Runes mark. Okay, that one's not on the tree, right? But we'll remember it for later. Let's have a look at Roderick. No, also not on the tree. This one, also not on the tree. I'm guessing this one is because it's called a cross, right? Zemiotvar, the symbol, Slavic rune is a symbol of fertility tied to bountiful harvest. It is often carved into tools or boundary stones. What's a boundary stone, I wonder? Putting this one in. Here's cross. And the bottom being probably the twin glyph. Yeah. The two interwoven lines represent duality, growth and decay, renewal and remembrance. Some rural communities believe that the Slavic rune is a symbol of transition rather than an end. Also bookmark this page for later, just in case we ever need it again, but let's submit our findings. Yeah, I agree with all of that, but I also think that the symbols are causing, especially the twin glyph, is causing the symbolic ergot to grow. Thank you. I apologize for being cautious. I need to know you're the right person for the job. I haven't been fully honest with you. This isn't just research. Someone I cared about disappeared in the early 90s. Official resource records are incomplete and inconsistent. Most people stopped asking. I didn't. Oh, interesting. So there was a victim, a disappearance. Most notably Blank. Blank was also a victim of the disappearance. It was because of this that the Blank was scrapped. The victim's belongings were found in the Blank, which is where they were presumed to have met their ends. I'm guessing in the forest, but we'll need to confirm that. And I'm guessing this is all to do with the farming project. So that's a whole bunch of stuff, really. Let's have a look at this, and then we want to probably want to look at the Kozlovka town ledger, because that will have name. What's this one? No hint available. I wonder if that is when the town was actually favorite this one. When the town was formed, because we know that the town was 1887. Let's give it a try. Let's go back over to here. No, no. Over to here, thank you. And try and get into here. But 18. I'm guessing this won't work, but we might as well try it. Nah, didn't think so. Alrighty. So the other place we want to look at is medicinal herbs, witch, and the Dragunov family. But we haven't actually unlocked the clue for the Dragunov family, or the clue for the Kozlovka. So let's have a look at these for two medicinal herbs. We've got Dr. Mstislav Dragov and the witch. Ironically, due to Kozlovka's incredibly fertile soil, medicinal herb grows in the two potent figures, and not approved of the governor. Okay, so we know that. What's the hidden link here? I wonder. I've already read this one. The witch. Oh, we know that we're missing with the witch, which is the spiritual chill. She's got one bloodshot eye. It's a small shop on Kozlovka's High Street. Interesting. Even as a pillar of Kozlovka's culture, there is a decline in interest for ancient pagan rituals. She's drawing a rune. A local shaman on Kozlovka's High Street. The flagship product is advertised to be able to commune with the surrounding nature and the souls of those who perish with rune symbols. Traditionally, it is a woman's job to mark sites with rune symbols, as many did in the past. And she's marking with this one. Yeah, linked to family room lineage and ancestral blessings frequently found on household objects. Right, that makes sense. Should be drawing it. But we need the modern time because we want to find out when this thingamajig happened. Was it? Have a look. We haven't looked at the mayor. Jane Dragunov is the current mayor of Kozlovka. Came into mayorship after he succeeded his father, Atalia Dragunov, in 1992. Is best known for proposing the modern farming initiative, in which he invited Dr. Kazimir Ostrovsky to Kozlovka to undergo research. Find out about his father. Chalad Dragunov was the mayor of Kozlovka from 1945 to 1992. He was best known for establishing the Kozlovka police force. There's affection for bisons. Oh, interesting. It was superseded by his son, Dragunov, when he mysteriously vanished as part of the 90s tragedy, commonly known as the 90s disappearance, which is what we're putting in. In the 90s disappearance, 15 people vanished from Kozlovka over the course of 2 months in the summer of 92. Most notably, Attilia Dragunov was among the missing, as well as one non-local. The investigation led by Drane Dragunov ran cold for a year, having only found a few items from several victims. This was the most recent tragedy town had to endure. It wasn't the only tragedy. Interesting. It looks like, yeah, they were found in the forest, right? If we zoom. And there was a rune printed. I did see. Well, let's click on tragedy first and then find out more about that rune. No hint available, but probably when it happened, we can guess. Was 99 right. Let's try that. We can also probably guess when the winter festival was. Was that one when the Dragunovs wanted to do their stuff? Yeah, date of winter festival. I don't know whether we've seen that before, but we must have, right? Because we have nothing left. Let's have a look in Dragunov. Blank was also a part of this. The blank was scrapped. Over the course of 2 months, 15 people, one non-local. One non-local in summer of 1992. After 1992 was when favorite this. Let me have a look at this rune for a second. So this rune was the first one, was it? Associated with the god of thunder, this favorite rune was believed to offer protection against misfortune and all omens, but it did not do that, did it? Yes. So maybe that's on Kozlovka's paint as well. I just didn't read it well enough. Have a look at. Where is that? Ah, there it is. Found it in 87. It could also be occupation. In June 1994. Guessing it's the Bialisqua forest, so I'm just going to guess that one in. In 99, when they declared. On a farming initiative. 13. Yeah. Working out. Yeah. Modern farming initiative. Yeah. Symbols. Yeah, we've had a look at all this. Maybe the ledger. So we know. Oh, we've tried 1990. We've tried 1884, right? As a year that they were summoned. Yeah, we did. That was that ever was formed. 1887. I swear I've tried this, but we'll try it again. Yes. That one's the one that makes the most sense to me. There's no image available. Okay. So when was the find out Dragunov family date of winter festival? So you think it will be something to do with the Dragunov family? So there's Jan Dragunov, 1992, or Atelier Dragunov in 1945. Maybe we put 1945. That was when he was born. Oh, okay. What about the Kozlovka tragedies? No hint for this one, but we know that there were 15 people in the course of 2 months in the summer of 92. We already tried 92. So do we try 1502 and see if that gets us? We also know that the tragedy has happened before. No? Yeah, I'm going to look at more stuff to do with the witch. As a tourist. Advertised. Okay. We have to look at these pictures. They tell us anything? Not necessarily, so they don't give us any metadata or anything like that. I know that there is one that I want to look at, which is the government. It was this one, right? Does this have a date on it? No, this is just the modern farming initiative, and I can't read that. My acrylic is not good. Cyrillic? You can tell I'm already pronouncing it wrong, you know. They're real bad. So yeah, not good at all. Have a look. Agriculture. The medicinal herbs. You find out when the maybe this shows where the winter festival. Whenever they do their like little harvesties. So 1950. Like that. But that wouldn't be exactly up to date, right? Have a look at this. I'll look at it. And 187. Right. German occupation. So the German occupation was when again? 1944. Let's put that one in the dates. See. Because that was a tragedy. Right, and when did German occupation start? It was 1941. So put that one in. Maybe this is 1941? 44? Okay. Let's have a think. Middle of the forest, yeah. This is in the June 1944. Maybe January, February, March, April, May, June. June 6th. 6:44. The other date I wanted, well, this one. 1502. I already tried that. 15. Feels bad when I'm already stuck in it. But I'm just gonna keep on thinking about it. Don't really eat if I can help it. Let's have a look at this. Maybe I'll cut this stuff out and be able to see. But I like that, man. He's disappeared. So he ran the search, and he's currently the mayor. Best known for doing that. Right, okay. That doesn't really help. I need you to investigate further. What does this say? Apologize. Jane jerking off. Yeah. Therefore. Inco V. Discover.local. Real Beach. Thank you. I apologize for being cautious. I need you to know you're different job. Someone I cared about disappeared in the early 90s. In 1990, there was a string of disappearances. Link most likely Ilya Dragunov. And over here it says Ilya Dragunov, after he superseded his father in 1992, is best known for proposing the modern farming. The modern farming initiative, proposed by Mayor Duran Dragunov, won. Duran Dragunov is his father? No, it's him. In 1991, but in 1991 he wasn't the mayor. His father was the mayor, took over in 1992. To revise his agricultural practices, approved by the Zarnanian government after achieving independence in the same year. The proposal invited Dr. Casimir. The proposal was ultimately scrapped in 1992, and he was invited to town to undergo research. Right, I think I figured it out. That took me too long. Okay. So this is Dr. Casimir Ostrovsky. It's because of this that the now the reason why I think it's Dr. Casimir Ostrovsky is because over here in the Lost Wiki, it says that one non-local, and we know that he was non-local. Let's see if that's right. Alrighty. Dig deeper. Can't believe this was so close to the town. This changes a lot of things. I need you to investigate further. By now you must have tried to access our tragedy place. We normally don't show this to the public, but I'm making a decision. Access request approved. Request for access. Dear Volha, thank you for contacting the town hall. After considering a close relationship with the governing bodies, your request to access the article Kozlovka tragedies has been approved. Below is a one-time code to access the code 7328. Okay, so 7328 is the Alright, thanks Volha Lysenko. So what was this person's name? Lysenko V. Right, and here's Casimir. Casimir. Otrowski. So it doesn't seem like they are related. I don't know, I'm a little confused, but let's have a look at the tragedies page. At least we've got something to work on now. And the tragedy. I'm sorry for getting so stuck, guys. Email. It was. Wait. Kozlovka tragedies. For an uneventful town, Kozlova has had a fair share of tragedies throughout its history. See below the list of notable. I'm going to favourite this one. Nanny's disappearance, summer plague. In August 1990, an unusual wave of death spread across the town. Most victims had pre-existing medical conditions and were found deceased in their homes. Post-mortems revealed unidentified fungal matter within the bloodstream. So that would be the thingamajig, right? Expected first to be a fast-moving contagion, the tragedy ended as suddenly as it began. I'm just going to close it out, and then this one. Among them is the summer plague, August 99, from earliest to latest. So, inside with the sudden strikes and agricultural yield. These tragedies were all committed in the forest. Back that one in. Now let's have a look at, we need to have a look at yield again, so let's open that one up. Yield was over here, right? You want to open up this later. So the first one was in like 1890, somewhere. So let's see if any of them were 18. Not that one. I'll read these later. Have a look. 1892, dozens of the locals were killed during the winter festival. There we go. We've got a day for the winter festival as well. The culprit was caught murdering festival attendees in front of the Draken Oak. I'm concerned, cornered the culprit sit there and photo and join the victims at the foot of the tree. The earliest tragedy recorded in Kozlovka. Alright, so this is the festival map. There's the first one. There we go. And then the next one happened in the 1950s-ish. So that might be where World War II comes in, the Battle of the Forest, right? Does this happened in 1905? Did that lead? So that was around here. So would not have led to a spike. Might have led to like this little spike, but due to them decaying at a faster rate in the interesting. Favorite this one for later. I bet you that this is important. It's also got the number 3 on the ground. Whatever that means. No crossing. So, do we think that the Battle Forest doesn't life were lost in the forest? So the Battle of the Forest, I think, was next. And then the next one was lost my culture. There we go. Next one was 1990. The Nunny's disappearance, right? Yeah. Because the other one, the summer plague, happened found deceased in their homes. So that wouldn't have happened. So it must be the Nunny's disappearance. There we go. Because the other one wasn't in the forest. So people are making sacrifices to the trees, right, to be able to get better crops. The festival makes go to the Battle of the Forest. Well, the Battle of the Forest wasn't necessarily a sacrifice. A whole bunch of Nazis were killed in there, but the other two definitely were, as well as the animal sacrifice. Right? We're finding to be more than helpful. They're disturbing. This pattern we're uncovering is not random. Someone knew, someone let it happen. You must have redacted bypass installed in your system, like any good journalist. It's been a while since it's been prohibited by the government, so here's a refresher on how to access it. Redacted bypass readme. You must first have your system code. You can find this in your computer system. Then you will need the local area code of the city you'd like to bypass. You can find this in all addresses. Okay. So, and this, blah, blah, blah. Right, we got an address in the good old, this one, right? Yeah, so 541, the local area address. And then we need Lost Wiki thingamajig across here. Where do we find that? 342. 342, the area code which we've got in 342 541 451. Three, 4, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, welcome to the Rejected Bypass. With this program, you can access data from articles that have been previously modified by local authorities. Insert article name to continue. Okay, so we can see backdated stuff. We will keep that open for now. Disapproval of their product. Blank caused the tragedy. Was it the summer plague? I want to have a look at this one and the good old affected by us. The victims were frequent patients of Dr. Mstislav Dragunov, who regularly complained that standard medicine would not help people with such long-standing medical conditions. After a swift investigation, the police said that there was no correlation. I reckon that Mstislav Dragunov caused the tragedy and then the summer plague. Postponed the... and that would be this. What I might also do right now is unlock the Dragunov family, right? As we know, the festival massacre that 1892 when it was happened. December 15th, 15th to the 12th as well. The festival celebrated the hardship between people endured through the year. Wives would take up their husband's tools as a sign of kinship and equal footing. Oh, that's nice. Since the massacre in 1892. So we're good at couple, I think. Been tried 1892 and 1512. Yep, okay, perfect, we're in. The Dragunov family. Kozlovka was founded by Bohdan Dragunov. Bohdan Dragunov was a founding member of Kozlovka. Originally a carpenter, his career shifted to farming after having their first child, who was born sickly. He was famous for being a terrible farmer, but nevertheless persevered. He was always devout to his wife and is famously dedicated to borrowed his strength in times of need. So was he like sucking her blood or something like that? Sacrificing her to the forest? Alina Dragunov was a founding member of Kozlovka. She was incredibly spiritual and set up the winter festival as her way of celebrating her husband's crops. The festival attracted dozens of people whose families made up Kozlovka today. She was always devout to her husband and was known in the community to set everything aside for the sake of her family. Oh, that's nice. The memorial was directed to honor the family, which included a quote that reads, "For the loss of a few, there are still many." Yeah, that's suspicious. Now let's try and find some more articles that were modified from earlier entry, like this one. Let's put in. Witnesses mentioned that they said a red glowing dot darting around the area when the mutilation supposedly took place, but a short-lived legend of an angry spirit in the forest. Police stated that this was a baseless rune bar. So, that's probably the witch, right? Going around killing them. So she's got a red eye. Glowing red eye. Tragedy. I have a look at the... This hasn't been altered. The Battle of the Forest. This has been altered. Yeah, let's put this one in. German documents show that the occupation was not a simple invasion, but to also investigate an event that happened in the local 1800s. These documents were given to the local police force. Interested. So... I still think it's because this blank throws the blank to abandon uses blank. Let's have a look at the mushroom. I reckon that be it. Finally, let's look at the festival. Yeah. There was a disturbing rumor that the killer carved the runes into the dragon area as part of the festival traditions. Although not much evidence suggests this, it was speculated to be the reason why the festival is no longer celebrated. Interesting. Yeah. So let's have a look at mushrooms. Oh. Here's the mushroom. Okay, nothing interesting there. But I am going to, because I think that this is the answer, shove them into my answer. Any uses of the symbolic yoga. Proposed there. And I reckon it's again. Off. Proposed the modern farming initiative, right? But let's check this in the good old thing. Because he's been modified as well. Jan was infamous for being vocal about his disapproval of the use of the symbolic ergot. After the plague, he launched the modern farming initiative with the primary goal of phasing out the fungi from the right. Did Atalia like the stuff? So I was right about all of that. From context clues. As the town was relatively small, there was no sheriff, and so the mayor was responsible for leading investigations. Upon appointing himself sheriff, he said, "As long as I draw breath to keep this town thriving, and I will do best for Kozlovka." So we need to know what product was being made from the good old druggies. Was this in the witch or the medicinal herbs? No. Have a look at the witch. No. Spiritual talk. This guy? Yeah, this guy. At the governor's disposal of the Cherubim, Dr. Mr. Love Dragonoff caused the tragedy summer plague. That's what I think. Is it the strange Dragonoff proposed the modern family? And blah blah blah. But let's have a look at his old stuff. He announced a more potent version of the medicine in 1989, but failed safety tests in the subsequent year were not approved by the government. Yeah, I was right. So yeah, the strain are gonna roast the grab the modern farming to Modern Farming Initiative, there we go. Take that one in and submit those. Heck yeah. That sounds right to me. Hopefully it sounds right to you guys as well. Lysenko V, Kozlovka local. Mr. Love is a good man, but I knew his ambition would get to him. To think he risked innocent lives. I found something that is of use. What's inside is sensitive. Handle it accordingly. I continue digging around for more material. Image. To whom it may concern. As you know, it has been 3 months since our Mia went missing. He was dead at our house, but alas, we must come together and continue running the town. Oh, this is that symbol. The control of the Kozlovka police force and its public database will be transferred to his son, Jan Dragunov, as he will be taking the reins as mayor of this town. With that, the passcode to the town ledger has been changed. It is now the heading code of the town hall. Thank you everyone for your patience. Regards, Kozlovka Police Corps. So the heading code was something mentioned in here, right? Where heading code is this one, yeah. Okay. North is 000, northeast is 045, east is 090, and southeast is 135. Now, in the attachment here, this one, Viola says, thank you for counting Town Hall. Town Hall is Northwest 6, NW6. And Northwest was, which one, sorry? I was reading the attachment, wasn't it? What am I doing? Pressing all the wrong buttons. The northwest. Okay, so it doesn't say. It just continues, right? But it's whatever direction it's facing, right? So, for example, south would be 180. That makes sense. West would be 270. So, somewhere between 270 and 365, halfway. Which would be 45 degrees. So 270 plus 45, 315. Yeah, 315. So let's try that. It was 350. Six. 315, 6. Right. Okay. Try that on here. Yeah, we're in already. I'm not stupid. So we know Atalia and Mr. Dragunov already. Had a look at those boys, but we haven't had a look at Leah. She's got a red eye as well, so she might be the witch. Lilia Dragunov is the adoptive elder sister of Atalia Mislav Dragunov, although she acted more as a caregiver to the two boys rather than a sibling. Not much is known about her besides reports of her eccentric personality. In 1965, the Dragunov family announced she had run away, though no investigation was held. This picture was taken in 3, right. Let's drag her over to here. She looks like the witch to me. The witch has the same eye, bloodshot. Above the Mislav produced medicine after being inspired by her child's stories of being sickly, one which damaged her eye, although it was more of a fascination of her condition than a drive to help her. Right, okay. And we've got to listen to the witch's true name is Lego Dolet. And they were responsible for the tragedy with the animal death. Right? Or something like that. Volha Dragunov is the mother of Jane Dragunov. What Jane's married ship after her husband's disappearance. Although she no longer uses their last name, she still has close connection with the family. And then we've got Dragunov, right? Okay, so let's grab over here the witch. Witch's true name. She is responsible for one of the two ones. She's not responsible for the thingamajig because she's too old, right? She's responsible for this one because it was... This one says in this here that there was one red eye, right? Yeah, darting around the area. But it could also be, when was she born, Liliana? Who was that was way over here. Adoptive elder sister. Doesn't say. Either that or she's like immortal. And she was responsible for the festival massacre. It was in 1892. Because this one, the culprits that they're in front. So it's unlikely to be that one. I reckon it's more animal killings. Unless she's actually like very immortal. They frequently return to carve the rune. Because this has got a rune on it, doesn't it? No. After tragedy. Well, in the 90s disappearance was this one carved, but it could be also one of the ones on the tree, because we saw in the festival, right, or in the winter festival, that this one is carved into the tree. Which is normally done by a woman. Would be Kimya's cross into the... We're going to try this. It might not actually be right. This is the only one I'm not confident. Yeah, okay. I see that also down here. Yeah, there's this symbol. There's also a rune. That makes sense. Let's have a look over here. This one is one of the prunes, Vinny, I think. A forgiveness and peace. Okay. I reckon it's Vinny then. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Alrighty. Witch's true name is Liliana Dragunovka. They were responsible for the tragedy. They frequently returned to the site of the tragedy to carve the room as Vinny onto the Dragoner. To think that the witch was their sister all along, and to think they had a sister to begin with, it's almost unbelievable. I found this document hidden in the archives. It feels like it was meant to be buried, like it wasn't meant to be found. I hope it helps your investigation. Let's see. Year 1943, research notes 144. Transcription, tree looks to be centuries old. Can be confirmed. There are runes on the tree. However, it isn't in chalk like the pictogram suggests. They seem to be carved with some carpenter tool. Remind soldiers not to trample over the area. Be careful of the delicate fungi. They are hard to spot, but they are there. Update, found a letter, written a few days after the end. We'll attach it along with it. But there is nothing attached. It looks like there's something behind. But this was when the Nazis were doing experiments in the folder. Rumors of the tragedy spread across Europe. Blink is responsible for the charity, so I think this is about the... Got no more things to access, right? Any more question markies? So this is all the information you're gonna get. Great. I'm very excited about that. So let's go to the Battle of the Forest. So the Battle of the Forest is what responsible. Was it German soldiers that were responsible for this? Let's have a look at, because I think that in here, right, there was something about the Battle of the Forest. German documents showed that the occupation was not a simple invasion, also to investigate an event that happened in the late 1800s. Documents were given to the local police force, right? So they wanted to investigate the festival, yeah, right? Because that happened in... I think... okay. So this goes down here, Festival Massacre. This goes here. And join the victims at the foot of the tree. The earliest tragedy. Have a look at... I've forgotten what was written in the redacted bypass about the festival. Not the festival. Yeah. There was a disturbing rumor that the killer carved the ruins of the Draconite as part of festival traditions. Yeah, perfect. Although not much evidence suggests this, it was speculated to be the reason why the festival was celebrated. Alright, I've got some ideas already. Okay. This led to, where's the Germans? The Battle of the Forest. There we go. And then I think that it's the... let's click on the Kozlovka Tround. Now, I think it's Utlia. No, not Utlia. One of these oldies. No, not you. Volker. There's an oldie. The oldies were over here. That's what I remember now. Alina, yeah. I think it was Alina who sacrificed herself. The two blinks in the blink. Two blink. The two carvings on the tree. Yeah. Bogdan Bergen. Originally a carpenter. Yeah. Okay. So I think that this guy is because they were carved, right? By carpenter by a tool. They're also responsible for the two... Was that, say Alina say... She was not to her husband. But then the festival, the winter festival, is like women bringing their shit together, right? Women taking out their husband's tools. Right. Yeah, so I reckon it was Alina. They are also responsible for the two carvings. There we go. Slavic rune symbols on the tree. I reckon it. Yeah, heck yeah. Alrighty, I was not so sure about that one, so... It's another tragedy. Yeah, perfect. This must have been the beginning of it all. I've heard of the legend before, but always thought it was an old wise tale to scare me when I was a child. I think we're uncovering a much deeper conspiracy than we thought. Surely someone must have known about this. How did these tragedies go unnoticed? Unconnected? Blank intentionally led to the investigations astray. They ousted Blank from the family after the tragedy. Blank and covered up mistakes made by Blank after the tragedy. Blank. Alrighty. Well, we know some of that, right? We know that over here. Over here. We know that they ousted Lilia. After the tragedy, the animal killings. And covered up mistakes made by Blank. I reckon this was Jan or Elia. Covered up mistakes made by, yeah, this would be Mr. Liff. And that was after the summer tragedy. It is somewhere. Easy enough. Right, yep. I don't think this is a good direction to pursue. You've already done more than enough for the investigation and your notes have been very helpful, but for now I'm asking you to stop looking to this. Please leave it be. Nah. Nah. I refuse. Your real name is Bolha. And she must have been very close to Jen. No, that's Leah. That she doesn't want. Yeah. Because they were husband and wife. Yeah. So they were incredibly close. And Leo was my husband. He was everything to me. I loved him and I never imagined he would be involved in whatever this is. I hired you because I wanted to know what happened to him, not to learn he might have had a part of it. I don't know everything he did, but he was always a private man. Please don't assume the worst without truth. There is more to play. There are a reason why there are so many blanks. Everything traces back to one place and the roots lead back to the blank. That tree is the center of it all and your husband is part of it. So there is a reason there are so many tragedies. Everything traces back to, and the roots lead back to, will be the tree. Because everything leads back to the dragon note. That tree is the center of it all, and your husband is part of it. True. All true. We've come this too far to stop now. I suppose we have to see through. Oh, went through his office. I hate doing it, but it feels wrong. But something caught my eye. I don't know why he had this or what it means. Maybe you understand better than I do. I'm sorry, Jan, but it is impossible. The land is too reliant on the symbolic we got. Without it, we just can't. Maybe decades later something can change, but the damage is too dire. Your proposal will fail. And there's something else. I think I'm being watched. I might know who's behind the recent incidents, but I need to be certain before I say more. I'll explain in person, July 21st, 1992. Right. That was... Right. I know this. That was left Dragunov. And you send a letter to Jan Dragunov of how the modern farming have failed, I think. Yeah, that's right. They also know who was involved in. Well, this is in the. That wasn't Mr. Laugh. I think I'm being watched. Was it? I reckon it was the witch. The Lena. Who was involved in 90s experience? Oh, okay. I don't know exactly which one's wrong. Because we know that Mr. Love went missing in it. Moved to December. Him? Because the first of all, wait. Being able to recruit. Okay, yeah, it was Mr. Laugh. I was just getting these two mixed up for some. Gender enough of it. I don't know if there was no available. Yeah. Not the. Maybe the summer? I reckon the summer. Okay. Huh? Yeah. Is a vocal approach. Yeah. So he knew that the herbs had been. Yes. What else was written in the letter? Over decades, your proposal will fail. Yeah, that makes sense. That is the thingamajiggy. It was it was one of these. Or was it? Definitely we're missing, right? Trotsky is a Russian mycologist. What is another indicated missing? Was this before? I'll look at when this letter was sent. Explained in person, July 21st, 1992. When did the 90s experiences happen? In the summer of 1992. The summer is near the end of the year in Europe. So it might have been Casimir, and that's when he went missing, right? Did it to Jen? No, summer is in July. Right. Maybe this? Used. Right. Right, and that's why he went missing. I also knew who was involved in it. Right, and then they messed him up before they could meet. There are the last of what I could find. They know I've been looking to. Some of them have to please find a lot. And we'll get a whole bunch of them. Refer to research notes 144 for details. My dearest daughter, do not fear the sacrifice your mother made. Take the fungi and you will not only survive, we will thrive. The land will remember your name as it remembers hers. All the love I can give your father. 17th of December, 1892. Dear brother, I read her father's letter. Think about it. The land feeds on what is given, then maybe it doesn't have to end in ruin. Maybe this is how we survive. No wonder she's never seemed to age. This time I need to test it. A few small trials just to see. The thought alone has kept me awake for days. I know how it smells, but this could change everything. Imagine what we could do for the next 50 years. November 24th, 1965. Right, so this is all about the mom. Dear brother, time is running out. I have to say instead. Jen invited some expert after your clumsy mistakes, but I think I can handle them. Perhaps your trials were not failures. You said they passed in their sleep. Might be the best solution to make it as painless as possible. The best we can do for what we're asking of them. The loss of a few, there are still many. Blind eye, onion, right, okay, yeah. So they are investigating the thingamajig. And how it gives life forever, essentially. The mushroom. And that was... Well, I have some thoughts. I reckon that we've got the mum's name, right? That's one. So we know that we were speaking with her, but I also think that this person might be the grandmother. But we'll find out in a minute, yes. Hello, I'd like to apologize for Volhar's dragging off his actions as a wife. Unfortunately, we decided to terminate your contract. Please cease any prior investigations and send your invoice to the town hall. The services will be paid in full. Thank you for your cooperation. Okay. Like, who's this blank? Is that you? Is that John? Yeah, I reckon it's probably. Dear brother. Let's see if it's John. John, is that you? That was a good guess. So perhaps you're simply more perceptive than I give you credit for. Tell me, what's driving you now? Curiosity, guilt, or the need to be right, no matter the cost? You're probably the one only one to understand. Too much blood, sorry, is spilled. And I don't know what we were uncovering. Now we do, and the whole world deserves to know. Too much blood has spilled in over. Kozlovka? Kozlovka? Yeah. And then this is the ladies. Again, Vol. I didn't know what we were covering, but now we do, and we'll this. Yeah. You are naive to think that simply telling everyone is going to solve anything. Truth doesn't heal, it spreads, it divines, it consumes. Fine, I'll let you continue your investigation. You already have everything you need. Perhaps you'll understand the position I've been forced into. Start from the beginning. The letter was written by... so the first letter... This one. Was written, by 1892. Yeah, 1892. So that was written by this guy, the dad. Arlene, the other guy. Rodan, addressed to his daughter, which was Olba. It suggests that the tragedy, which was the festival, was a ritual to cultivate more. This was the good old fungi. It's just a fungi, guys. Fungi. Probably already past it. Medicinal herbs, wasn't it? symbolic air god, there we go. More severe in order to treat someone's ill. Who is sick. Corridor street. Was it? What was like little bypassing? A chance stories of being sickly. Right, yeah. Right. Yeah. Legida was also only to be found during tragedy blank. So that we found out in letter 2, right? Letter 2 was... Oh, this is how we survive. In 1965. So in 1965... tragedy happened. And why do I keep on clicking on the wrong stuff? Not that one. Not that one. The animal killings. Perhaps? The Battle of the Forest. Or the fist. Well, it wouldn't be that. I wanted to treat. Maybe it's someone else's illness. But Lilia was sickly. But maybe Volba's illness. Volba never seemed to be sickly, right? So I do think it's probably Lilia. She said that she was sickly a child. Well, what? Okay, let's have a look back at this bad boy. My dearest daughter. Okay, so this is written actually not to Vola, but to Lilia. So that's fine. Drag it from here. Oh. Because I think that Lily is his daughter and she's just been living forever. Lilia. Lilia. And then, yeah, let's try this. Okay. So, continue. Continue. Alrighty, I'll continue. You tell me twice. I'll press continue. After the ritual blink. Okay, yeah, so this is easy. So Lilia dragging over the tragedy, the animal killings, which found to treat was results. When they were caught, Blank took the letter. Who took the letter? Lilia? Let's have a look. Or Jan? They passed in their sleep. Lost of the few. Dear brother. Jan invited some expert after your clumsy mistakes. Dear brother, I read her father's letter. There we go. So that was written... No wonder she never seemed to age. Few small trials. Okay. I reckon that was written by... Mr. Love. Took the letter and sent it to... Oh, it might be the other way around. In the excitement, Dr. Mr. Love took the caused the tragedy, and that was the summer. The summer stuff. Or maybe... I'll look... I'm gonna try these bad boys around. Because I don't think Jan knew about it, because Jan wanted nothing to do with the fungi after he got elected. Attempting the ritual Lilia Dragunov tragedy animal killings, it failed to achieve results. When they were caught, Lilia Dragunov took the letter and sent it to Dr. Mstislav Dragunov. That assignment, Dr. Mstislav Dragunov caused the tragedy summer plague. Easy enough. Going, you're almost there. Alrighty, well let's keep going then. Let's see why not. This is getting close to my bedtime, but maybe we can finish this. After the incident, you invited blank. You invited this bad boy. Dr. Kazimir Trotsky. While research was underway, someone, Lilia, started the ritual once again, causing the tragedy. Now, that one is probably, well, the sum of the 90s experience. Oh yeah, Casimir was suspicious and tried to notify you. However, the letter was intercepted by Liliana and killed them. This alerted you of the crime. Okay, so maybe Lilia did not intercept it. Maybe, I think that Atlia. Or maybe Atlia and Lilia. Swear it must have been Lilia that did the ritual again. Was it the 90s disappearance? The only one left, right? Clover tragedy. 90s disappearance, summer plague, which was caused by that guy. She caused this one. Battle of the Forest, that one. And then Festival Massacre was the one. So yeah, it must have been the 90s disappearance. So who caused that? It was either Atlia or Thingamajig. And then, so if it's not this, and we already tried Atlia. Yeah, right? Let's read his Thingamajig. It was best known for establishing the Kozlovka police club. Look at the 90s disappearance. Is there anything to do with it? There's a protection rune. I know that over here in the animal killing, there's the police. Return here. Put him in. Have a read of his little redacted stuff. Mia was responsible for leading investigations. Right, okay. As long as I draw breath, I should keep this town. Now I'll do best for us, close its lever. So maybe Atlia was the one that killed him? Try that. You invited Dr. Kazimir Ostrovsky to research the symbolic of Earth. When the research was underway, Atlia Dragunov started the ritual once again, causing the tragedy 90 parents. But he went missing then as well. So unless he's like becoming old, or Casimir killed him at the time, tried to notify you. What? Oh, but Casimir before that. Well done. I'm assuming you already figured out what happened next. Not really. You assumed that I'm smart enough. But Casimir was wearing those glasses, right? So that's how we knew that he went missing. Yeah. Now that I think about it. So you killed Atlia. You killed Atlia. It's the last victim of the... There you go. You, Jan. You did the right thing by killing Atlia, in my opinion. He may have been my father, but by the end he wasn't a man. What I learned was what he'd done, what he intended to continue. I had to end it. It was foolish because in the end the burden fell onto me. The irony of it. Some truths are everything they touch. Do you understand why the past had to stay buried? I kinda do. Yeah. Kozlovka is too reliant on fungi. Yeah, put that in. Kozlovka is too reliant. There we go. Man was built on death, and rich was disguised as tragedies, and it's been feeding on that ever since. Yeah. Casimir only confirmed what I was too scared to admit myself. The town is built on blood, to the extent the country of Zarnava. If we stop the process, people will starve. What's the immediately future sacrifice only every 50 years? The curse inherited by my family. I've grown tired of the charades. I think in my heart I wanted someone to know. I'll stop you from doing what you think is right. I only wish my mother wouldn't need. Right, but you just killed your mother, didn't you? Let us publish the article. I think that that's probably the best. Yeah. The reason why I think burning the tree is not the best is because it means that people of Kozlovka don't starve. The NAVA International Security has flagged you for unauthorized disclosure of classified material. Your residence is under surveillance. Agents will arrive in 2 hours to take you into custody. Processing will occur. The National Center, 1 phone call will be permitted. Remain at your registered residence until an agent arrives to avoid escalation. Administrative office. Oh, that's sad, isn't it? We got arrested for doing the truth. Thank you, Yet Fun Long. Eddie the Man. Anastasia SI. This is a great game. It's really good. Thank you. I would say go play it yourself. It's great. I'm going to do the 2 endings now, but definitely it's quite cheap as well. So pick it up if you can. Went on sale as well. So yeah. 10 minutes surveyed just before the last report. Feel free to explore other endings. Let's do it. Project was a labor of love indeed. I could definitely see that, and I did enjoy the experience as much as you probably enjoyed creating it, or more. Because creating games hard. Let's go to continue. Yeah, I'm logging in. Alright. I forgot my password again. Let's boot this up. So we know that the answer liver is too reliant on Kozlovka. Now my next option is to burn the tree, right? I've already read this. Yeah. I'm ignoring it. Let's do that next. Burn the tree. I don't think the tree will burn, but thank you for doing what I spent my whole life wishing I could. Every time I tried, I thought of what dying would mean, and I faltered. I was too scared, but now I've lived a much longer life than I needed. As Kozlovka survives, I pray it remembers you more kindly than it will remember me. Lilia. Oh, thank you, Lilia. The witch. Yeah, that's a good ending. Yeah. I'm amazed that the tree can burn. You'd think that after the fungi, look at all, it wouldn't be able to burn, but do I know? What do I know about trees? And finally, last ending, probably the worst one in my opinion. You might have different opinions. If you do, put them in the comments. Don't mind. All got opinions. So you still would think that I would have learnt the buttons by now. I play games. At least we got through that one faster, you know, the first time. We know, game, we know. Like I'm complaining about like 2 seconds of stuff. There we go. Right, let's delete the evidence. This is the worst answer, for sure. If you put it in the comments that it's your favorite one, you're wrong. Things are quiet, the fields are green again, the harvest looks like it'll be strong this year. My son hasn't said much, but he brushed it off as a misunderstanding. Guess some things don't change, but I can't help but feel like there's still something wrong. I know you've not replied to my previous emails, but please, give me a sign. Well, we did the wrong thing. We did the wrong thing, for sure. We're driving away. Ignoring it all. Burn the tree. Burn the tree, get it over with. Stop people from becoming, you know, immortal. By killing several hundred people. That's not worth it. But that's Lost Wiki Kozlovka. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to click that like button. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And without further ado, have a wonderful rest of your day. See ya!